What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Good Times with Retro Rich. So today we're going to continue our little coverage of the 1010 Amico gameplay video. I've got some responses from the previous video, so I figured, well, we're just going to keep on rolling with talking about all of the different games that I thought we should highlight. I'm going to do it in a little bit of a different way though, because the previous video was actually shot in segments, almost all completely in one clip. So I've got a lot of video that I've already recorded that now doesn't fit exactly what I'd like to do moving forward because of the response from the Cloudy Mountain video. So, but thank you so much for the feedback. I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying the deeper dive and more analytic coverage of the Amico titles. So let's just, without further ado, jump in to yet another title and really dig in here. So the next title I want to talk about is actually Cornhole. Now I know that a lot of people have talked about that in the past. It's a pack-in, of course, for the Amico. It's going to be one of those titles that some people, like, you know, they think it's funny because, you know, it's Cornhole. Like, who doesn't think that's funny? But I think this is definitely one that I can put in the do not sleep on this game category, for sure. And the reason why is because there's such a proliferation of the actual game right now that I don't think a lot of people in maybe the general like core demo of the gaming sphere kind of realize that. Now there are some that, you know, are they maybe even crossover fans, core gamers, and they love, you know, football and other sports and outdoor activities, and maybe they can see that there's a lot of that crossover appeal to the game, and, you know, have seen it at family gatherings, at parties, at tailgate parties, and all sorts of other kind of stuff, right? But I think it's actually like a really cool and really smart call to choose this particular game to not only highlight, but have a pack-in too, because I really do think it is going to be a draw for the system. And why will it be a draw for the system? Well, just think about it. How easy is it to actually play Cornhole in real life? It's pretty easy, right? You stand there, you got your line, you grab your beanbag, and you toss it, and you try to aim for the hole or to get closest to, or however you're going to want to score the game. And then your opponent on the other side does the same thing. You know, it's one of those games that you kind of sit there and kill time with, right? Well, think about that in the video game space. How many games are like that? Something you can just throw on while you're waiting for dinner to get ready, while you're waiting for people to come over because you're going to do gifts in the holidays, while you're waiting for people to show up for a birthday party and you need to keep the kids busy. You know, and a bunch of them. I mean, there's so many different options for this game to kind of sit in, and there's almost next to no entry or barrier to entry to play the game. So you come in, you grab the controller, now talking about the Amico version, you grab the controller, you load the title, it loads up, the controller activates basically as the beanbag. You line yourself up, you know, hit a button, or I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I'm imagining very similar to some of the Wii Sports titles that involve you having something in your hand that you're going to let go of. Obviously, you're not going to just toss the Amico controller across the room, right? You know, you're going to have like probably a side button hold, and then as you like let go of the projectile beanbag, whatever you want to call it, you let go your, your thumb button or something like that, or a trigger button on the other side, or because it's the Amico controller and it's pretty adaptable, maybe it's just any button. Who knows? There's we don't know because we haven't had the controller in hand, but that's pretty simple. That's pretty easy. Somebody comes in, you're like, hey, you know what? Let's just knock out a couple rounds of cornhole before we got to do whatever it is. Oh, cool. I've never played this before. How do you do it? Oh, you grab the controller, you hit this, you do this, you let go, you're good. Just don't throw it to my TV. And they're like, haha, all right, cool. And then you start playing. I mean, pretty cool, right? I mean, that's pretty simple. And it's the thing that hooked everybody else when you kind of compare. And I don't really want to just tie directly this to the Nintendo Wii, but there's so many similarities to this hook and this game that it's just hard not to mention it, because that's the feeling that I get when I see all the previews for Cornhole. I think about what I felt when I first saw the advertisements for the Wii. People coming into a living room, there's a very simple kind of game that you could play. You play the game, everybody's happy, you turn it off, you go to do your activity, you get bored again, maybe you play some more, that kind of thing. And it's just fun for everyone to just get involved. And I think it's really cool that that game is going to be a pack-in title. The Cornhole game will be a pack-in title here, kind of just like the Wii Sports Bundle on the Wii, because it's going to give that, and no matter who has an Amico, there's going to be at least one title that literally everyone can play because everyone kind of knows what it is. And if you don't, it's very easy to explain and get them into it. So I think it's well done. I think it's a really awesome thing that they're packing this in. So, for those that say, oh well, what about Cornhole? Is real popular? Is it even really popular? Do people even care about Cornhole anymore? Well, let's just look at some stuff as I get kind of bothered by a fuzzy friend here. Hello, Pippin. How are you doing? I don't even know if you're on camera, but I'm trying to do a video here. You mind? You mind, buddy? All right. So, anyway, so we've got all sorts of different examples of Cornhole outside of talking about this video, the Amico, and things that you've known about it. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a party game you plan to play, right? This game is kind of everywhere, right? Don't believe me? Well, have you turned on your TV and watched any NFL game in the past, complete season? How many times have you seen that State Farm ad with Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, it's probably every commercial break, right? So why Cornhole in the ad? It's because it's a popular game, isn't it? Well, and isn't it cool to see MVP, Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes just nailing those shots, not even looking at the plank, just nailing them while he's trying to talk about getting his good deal on his car insurance or whatever. But he's playing Cornhole. That's kind of cool. Not enough? Okay, well, just this past weekend, I went with my family to go do a corn maze, do some pumpkin picking. There was a mine that you could kind of check out too, and a train ride, which was all about, my son was all over this. So we get there, and well, what do you know? Sometimes there's a line to go into the maze, especially now, given the fact that we have to do, distancing and be respectful, all that kind of stuff. But what did they have to keep people kind of interested and engaged rather than just sitting down on a bench and just counting the time away to wait for people to come out of the maze? That's right. They had some cornhole. And not just any cornhole, they actually had some pretty cool pads. Take a look at that. I mean, there's the train thing that kind of is in a theme, right? There's a little cow, that's kind of funny. But they also had, it was licensed. There were ACL, cornhole things. So the people are like, oh, well, the ACL, who cares? It doesn't exist. It was like, well, I mean, they do exist. There is stuff out there, and it's pretty cool looking. So, and okay, so how does this even tie to sales, okay? Do people go out and buy cornhole, or like where they have like, you know, oh, they've had it for years and no one goes and buys them anymore? Well, I challenge that too, because I live very, very close to a Walmart here in my area. And springtime and summertime, they have the seasonal aisles right in the front of the very first thing that you see when you walk in to the main lines and front lines, or soft lines, I should say, departments of the Walmart department store. What's on the front shelf right next to all the blow-up pools that seem to sell out over the summer? Oh, that's right. Another thing that sold out, cornhole. Not badminton, not volleyball, not any of the other sports-related summer activities that you think of when you think of, it was summer fun time. It's a whole bunch of cornhole. And then very shortly after, a whole bunch of empty shelves, because that stuff sold out pretty quick. So this game is pretty popular in a wide variety of ways. And I think it's actually really killer that they're considering this for the Amico. Not only just considering it, but actually, you know, they're doing it. It's going to be a pack-in title for this console. I think it's really effective and really well done. And about the game itself, well, I think it's really cool that they put a lot of effort into it, right? It'd be very, very easy to, and again, similarly, like a Wii Sports, you've got your court, you've got 2 players, you do your tennis thing, or you've got your alley, and you've got a couple players, you can customize your Mii, and then you bowl. But that's it. You keep coming back, and then you play some more, and then, you know, whatever. There's not a lot of variety. Well, in Cornhole, there's all sorts of different levels you can do. There's all sorts of different boards you can get. There's the, you know, different varieties. You can play some more for the people that are really interested in the game and want to do good in the game. You can get unlockables, you know, make everything look cool. It's neat, right? It's neat that there's that much attention being paid to just this little pack-in game, right? It's almost like they're trying to put value in there too. Who would have thought, right? So I think all of those things come together, and it just makes not only Cornhole an easy sell, but Amico as well a pretty easy sell for those that are looking for affordable family stuff that they just want to go into a place, buy, and then go and have fun right out of the box. And it's been said that you could literally do just that. You can go into a store on, you know, after launch day, go in, buy an Amico, come in, plug it in, start playing. You don't have to do anything else. You just be playing. And for some, that might be enough. Maybe not, you know, paying $250 just for Cornhole, but don't forget, there's another 5, maybe 6 games that are on that console. Right off the bat, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to do anything like that. It's good stuff. And it's looking very, very good. It's looking like it's supremely good times. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. You know, a little more in-depth talk about more titles that are going to be coming later. But for now, that's all I got to say. You know, until we start getting some hands-on, maybe, I don't know when we're going to get some hands-on, you know, like close to launch or after launch or something. Maybe there'll be some of those demo things that I'll go and hunt down, and you know, try to get some more impressions for you. But for now, that's what I gotta leave that there for Cornhole, and we'll catch you next time for some good times. This is Rich, and we'll see you on the next video.
TeamRTFC.BaconIceCream.com